All right, the Celtics have a chance to wrap up the NBA Finals on top 3-1 in the NBA Finals with a chance to clinch it at TD Garden tonight. Joining me now, 2008 NBA champion Leon Powe. And Leon, thanks for joining us again. And, obviously a tough loss on the road against Dallas. They end up losing by 38, but still up in the series 3-1. What are the keys for tonight?
Keys for tonight is you got to find a way to relax yourself, calm down. Go out there and play your game, because the closeout games are the hardest games to close out. And Dallas is not going to give it to them, so they're going to have to go take it.
And let's go back to last game just for one moment, because, as I mentioned, a 38-point loss.
Yes.
The Mavs did play well in the fourth quarter of Game 3, too. So if you take the last 5 quarters of the NBA Finals, they've actually outscored the Celtics by 46. Yes. What adjustments have they made to at least make this a little bit of a series?
Yeah, so the Mavs realized that the Celtics was not double-teaming them out top, especially Luka. Was trying to force them to play one-on-one. And so Luka just changed up his game plan and was saying, you know what, I'm just going to attack the basket, get close as I can, and then force the Celtics to help to collapse, and then I'm going to kick out to my open shooters. And that's what he was doing, because the Celtics have a rule that they don't want to help on any Luka drives or nothing, so they don't give up those corner threes. But they gave him up that last game.
And the stars for the Celtics, they combined for 25 points in Game 4. We know what they're capable of. They've shown it all postseason long. How do they get going in this game?
They got to play with some force to start the game, because I think last game they didn't play with no force, just settled for perimeter shots, and Dallas came out way more physical, so they got to change up their game plan a little bit, be more physical, play with more force, and stick to their principles. Do not help off the corner threes. Let Dallas beat you one-on-one.
Who or what are the X factors for Game 5?
Game 5, I think the crowd, first of all. The crowd is going to be key. Tatum, Brown, of course. But you always have that unsung hero that comes off the bench. And I think Tillman or Peyton Pritchard is going to have a big game.
Tell me what it's like to play in front of a TD Garden crowd for a clinching game like your team did in Game 6, 2008, on this very day 16 years ago.
Yes, it is fun. And it's nerve-wracking, too, because when you get in that locker room, you're like, we know we can clinch it, but you do not want to go to a Game 7. You do not want to lose that game. So you want to do everything in your power to try to win. And just settle your nerves down and go out there and play your game, because if you do, everything should fall into place. But from the start of the game, you want to play with a lot of force and a lot of attitude. And
the fans love hearing about stories from the 2008 Celtics. I want to go back to the time period between Game 5 and Game 6 of that 2008 NBA Finals. Because like this year's team, you guys had a chance to clinch on the road against the Lakers. They end up winning Game 5. You come back home, you win by 39, which is the largest margin of victory in a finals game ever. So what went into that time period from when you guys lost Game 5 to right before Game 6, where the team was mentally ready to go?
Yeah, when we lost Game 5, we had a big comeback in Game 4, and we was all hyped up on that. But we lost Game 5, but we only wanted to steal one, because the old format, if you remember, it was 2-3-2. So we was down there for 3 games, and we wanted to get one and come back and finish it off at home. And so we knew we had our home crowd behind us, knew we was about to be ready to go, our crowd was going to be ready to go, and we wanted to close this thing out, because, as you know, we was playing against Kobe Bryant, and you do not want to go to Game 7 with Kobe Bryant. We do not want to do that, and so we had extra motivation to close it out.
Obviously, Luka Doncic isn't Kobe Bryant, but he's shown offensively what he can do in this series, and defensively played better in Game 4. One thing that stood out in Game 4 was the rebounding margin. Celtics were out-rebounded by 21. Say the team is without Porzingis. How do they collectively get that margin closer to 0, or, possibly lead that? Yes,
it's a collective effort, especially on the Celtics part, because they do a lot of switching, and Dallas knows that. And if you switch a lot, you're going to have smalls on bigs, and then you got to fight to get those rebounds. And so everybody going to have to crash to get those rebounds, to try to at least play them to a standstill to have a chance in this game.
June 17th, your team won it 16 years ago. Was that part of the equation in your guys' mind? Like, hey, this is the area code of Boston. We can make it happen on this very day.
I said if we happen to lose that last game, which we did, and it came about this day where we got a chance to play, yes, we should finish it off. It's history. It's when we last won, my team and And it's a fun day. It's a fun day for everybody once you close it out, because we stayed in the locker room till 6 in the morning. We partied. I think my shoes was missing. I think one of my jerseys was missing, everything. But we partied, and it was fun. And so if they can close it out, it'd be well worth it. I
know you're going to be in the building.
Yes.
What about the rest of the 08 team? Do you know what other players are going to be there?
Yes, I think we all going to be scattered out a little bit. I know Scal, Brittany going to be there. I know Eddie House going to be there. Paul Pierce probably definitely going to be there. Now, we don't know about KG. You know, he do his own thing, but he might be there. We don't know. I'm not saying anything.
And then finally, if you had to give them a motivational speech for tonight, the Celtics, what would you tell them?
I just tell them, go out there and just play hard. Play your game. Close it out. Don't mess around with the game. Don't settle. Do not settle for threes. Do not settle for long twos. You go everything, attack the rim and attack it aggressively, and you should get the job done.
As much as we would have loved for a sweep, the good part about a Game 5,
yes,
we get to get you back in studio with us. So, Leon, appreciate the time as always.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
They can get it done.